Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be re-reviewing the DC Direct 1/6 scale V from V for Vendetta. So yes, here we have V. I'll be re-reviewing him today, and he is a pretty nice 1/6 scale, full cloth clothing, fully articulated figure from DC Direct. They don't really make these figures anymore, which is a shame because a lot of them were very good, like this V right here. It comes with lots of accessories, interchangeable pieces, and looks very cool. So let's go ahead and zoom in for the articulation, sculpt paint details, all those sorts of things.
Alright, starting with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have V. Here is our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Superior Spider-Man, and our 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. V is 1/6 scale, which means he is sort of 12 to 13 inches tall, making him a good bit bigger than either one of these. Now, let's get the other two out of here and just look at V. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. Here you can see V. He is decked out in full cloth clothing, which is black. His shirt has a little bit of a texture to it, but it's not terribly noticeable. It's got a bit of a pattern, but it's very difficult to see from any sort of distance. Of course, he has his belt with a buckle and slots for knives. He has on some gloves, which have somewhat high wrist pieces. He comes with some alternative hands, but right now he has on his fist hands, which I believe are the ones he comes in packaged with. He has some fairly standard black pants, a little bit of wrinkling to them. And then he has some very glossy, rubbery kind of boots. I don't know exactly what they're made out of, but they are very rubbery and slick. I believe they may be oiled in something or have some sort of finish to them, because they're just a bit oily. All of his clothing is full cloth and removable if you so desire. He, however, is not burned underneath it and just uses a fairly standard Caucasian male body type. Anyway, wraps it up for all of his body detail. Let's zoom in on that head sculpt. Alright, zooming in on V's head sculpt, we can see he's wearing his standard Guy Fawkes mask. It does have some pink, rosy shading on the cheeks and on the lips and around the mouth a bit. Bit difficult to see, but you can see it a little bit there. Lighting makes it a bit difficult to pick up on camera. He also has his black eyebrows. His eyes are properly darkened, so that looks fine. Of course, he has the facial hair sculpted on there. There's a little bit of shading throughout the mask, and it all looks very accurate. It's not shiny or anything, which is fine. It has a very pastel sort of color scheme. And the hair is also rubber and sculpted to look like hair, so that's all fairly fine. And I have no issues with any of that. While we're talking about the head, let's go ahead and put on his hat, which is a pretty important part of his head. Most people will probably want to display him with that. It sort of just sits on the head there. It is a somewhat hard plastic. Once you have it situated fairly well, it looks decent, holds its shape, and has the proper texturing and detail of V's hat. So that is all very cool. Now let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, V has all the proper articulation you would probably expect from a 1/6 scale figure. The head is on a ball peg, so that tilts up and down, side to side, and rotates. Ball joint shoulders, in and out, forward and back. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows. Wrists are on pegs. There is unfortunately no hinging there. That's one of the main points that's missing. He has a very nice abdominal joint that moves all the way forward. Not really any back, though. Waist cut. He has DCUC style hips that move forward and back and in and out. Then he has a cut right above the knee here. Double jointed knees. And a cut at the foot as well. And I believe he has some ankle hinges, but they don't really move well because of the boots. Anyway, you get him into lots of different poses as well. You should be able to with a 1/6 scale figure. So that's all very cool. Now V comes with a couple of interchangeable hands and some accessories. Let's go ahead and look at those. Here are all of V's hands. He comes with 6 in total. He has 2 fist hands, 2 open palms, and 2 holding hands for his accessories. They all just interchange very quickly and easily onto the pegs. So that's all very nice. Very nice stitch detail and all those sorts of things. They are pretty much solid black, but they look fairly good. Here are 2 of V's other accessories. He comes with a rose and a baton, like a conductor's baton, from the scene where he's making the building explode, and the roses that he gives to the people that he kills. So those are all cool, and he can hold either one of those with the little tips of his fingers in his holding hands. And of course V comes with his daggers. He's got 6 of them, and you can either put them in his hands or on his little belt loops. So those are very useful, and they have very accurate detail to the movie, with little swirly bits on the handle and the proper pommel detail and all those sorts of things. He also comes with a stand He does not need this to stand up, but it helps. This thing can be shifted up and down to his proper waist area or whatever, and that'll clip around his waist, and it has the big V logo there on the base of it, which is black and shiny. So, yeah, he can stand on that. It's fairly useful. And lastly, of course, V has his cape, which is a massive piece of cloth, which you can clasp in the front of the neck here, and drape all the way around him, and it is very cool. You can cover him up, you can put it behind his shoulders a bit, like this or whatever, and pretty much do whatever you want with it. It doesn't have any inner wires or anything, but you can still get it to look pretty cool just by folding it and doing things like that with it. Anyway, that's all for V's accessories, except for his hat, which we've already looked at. So, let's go ahead and move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, V comes in the standard box for the 1/6 scale figures from DC Direct. It has a window behind this door here. The door says Freedom Forever and has a picture of the figure there on the front. 1/6 scale deluxe collector figure, V for Vendetta, DC Direct, all that stuff. Then you open up this door here, and you can see it has a big window there that would display the figure. And there's a picture of the figure there on the inside, as well as a little bit of a description. On the back, you get some quotes and a picture of the figure, as well as a little description down there at the bottom. Unfortunately, these boxes with doors don't really work well for in-package display unless you have a way to open the door, or if you just want to tear the door off, I suppose they would work, but most people don't want to do that. Anyway, it's still a fairly cool-looking box. So, yeah, V.
Alright, that wraps it up for V, so until next time, goodbye!
Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.